Alright, welcome to the second part of A Summer's End, Hong Kong 1986. I hope you guys enjoyed the last part, and I feel like in terms of visual novels, this is something that I might end up just spouting a lot of personal shit, which, again, I hope you guys can keep a secret. This is between you and me, alright? I started in the beginning because I just wanted to, because it's just realized because Sam had mentioned where she worked at, which was Diamond Videos, and you see right at the corner of this TV that we're seeing here, you know, it says Diamond Videos, and when we press play, it was essentially like you putting like the tape in or you know, just starting up like a show or whatever on the television, and then you see like that television-y like effect. It was very nice. I keep clicking on gallery by accident. I'm just like, oh no, seeing things that I shouldn't be seeing. But I'm just like, I've technically have already gone through this game. But you know, some of the details will eventually come to me. Like I know one thing. I should be talking about this, but let's just get let's just get in. Oh my god. So this is I forgot to mention before too, this was during this part when Sam was like laughing at her, and she's just like, oh, you're laughing at me, and well, technically Michelle was laughing, and then Sam was like, oh, you laughing at me? And then the whole gesture kind of returned again, where Michelle ends up saying, oh, now you're laughing at me? And Sam's like, well, you're just too funny. And Michelle responds back like, well, you are too. And I'm just like, oh. I just love the interaction between these two. Anyways. So yeah, they finish with their dinner, and now we walk back to the shoe cobbler together. I couldn't bring myself to ask her age. I guess she was a few years older than me. She gave me the air of an older sister. I laughed lightly to myself. An older sister wearing a t-shirt and sneakers? A younger sister wearing a full blazer suit? The thought of it was amusing. Michelle? What's so funny? Huh? It's nothing. The shop's the other way. She's walking. I remembered wrong. You don't come here often? No, not really. Follow me this way. It's just a quick walk back. Okay. There's Mr. Wong. Here we are. Hey, Dad, we're back. You girls came back together? Are the shoes finished? Of course. I finished them a long time ago. As expected from the Grandmaster. Don't call me that. Oh, here's your fish food and your dinner. Don't get the bags mixed up. I won't. Thank you. Hey, you just bought me a salad. Huh? There's only one box. Did you eat already? I already ate with Michelle. Huh? With her? Thank you, sir. Here's the payment. I'll come by again next time if I need another repair done. No need to be so polite. Come by anytime. Even if you don't need your shoe fixed. I gave Mr. Wong the payment for his service in exchange for my repaired shoes. Finally, my ordeal was over. I've gotten my shoe now. I should head out. Alright. I'll be going home. It's gone quite late now. My bad for keeping you long. I appreciate you for keeping me company. No, I should thank you. Thanks for taking care of me today. My pleasure. Are you taking the subway? I can walk you to the station entrance. No, it's fine. I decided to take a taxi instead. Okay. I already see one coming down this way. I'll help you flag it down. Oh, Sam raised her hand, and a passing taxi immediately pulled over to the side for her. She opened the passenger seat for me. Oh my god. Thanks. Michelle, it was nice meeting you. I enjoyed talking with you. Me too. Sam seemed to wait for my response. I looked away. I felt an anticipatory gaze from Sam. Something about the way she looked at me made my heart pound. Yeah, it would made my heart pound too. I didn't know why it made me feel this way. I never had such a feeling before with anyone. The taxi's loud radio filled the void of silence between us. Meanwhile, this taxi is like, alright dog, I just came here to pick someone up. I'm not here for your melodrama. I should say something to her at least. I should get in the car. I did say something within me really wants to be defensive, but I just want to go for every other options that I didn't go for. I'm in your store. That's a lie, Michelle, and you fucking know it. I'm gonna tell the truth. I should get in the car. Sorry, it's late. I should get in the car. I have to go back home now. I see. Get home safe. Sam, I wanted to say something more, but before I could speak, the taxi driver laid his horn. Come on, get the fuck in. Let's not keep the taxi driver waiting. I hope to see you again sometime. Bye. Bye-bye. I got in the car. Sam closed the door, and the taxi sped away into the night. In a few turns, I just feel bad now. Just saying that to Sam, I should get in the car. No, I've made my decision. In a few turns, the car had left Mongkok. Mongkok? I forgot to say goodbye to her. Well, you can say it next time, huh? It had taken me longer than expected, but I accomplished what I sought out to do today. I opened the bag that I had received from Mr. Wong. I examined the shoes. The heel was repaired perfectly. There was no sign of damage to be found. It looked as good as new, exactly what Mr. Wong had promised. It had been quite a day of mishap, but in the end, I couldn't help giggling to myself in the taxi. Funny how things work out sometimes. That's right. Sam and Mr. Wong were a peculiar daughter and father pair. They talked so nonchalantly, I would have thought that they were siblings instead. I guess some families were like that. Yeah, like you and your mom, huh? They're certainly interesting people. Especially that girl, Sam. Sometimes, inconvenience can lead to memorable moments beyond what could have ever been expected. I haven't let myself go with the flow for so long that I had almost forgotten this feeling. Yeah, you're always on schedule. It was nice sometimes, and that was what Sam had said, you know, if you're always so tight about this whole like scheduling thing, you end up missing out on things that you never realize. I met someone new tonight, a shoe cobbler's daughter, a video store owner in Mongkok. I wondered if our paths would cross like it did again. The taxi made a turn off the bypass. I'd be home in a few moments. I could put my feet up and indulge myself in a good novel. My feet were just throbbing after a long day of running back and forth from here and there. I took a peek at my shoes again. I was excited to wear these shoes tomorrow. They were polished and shiny. They looked even better than before. Alright, I gotta lower the sound a little bit. My goodness. Oh, the music went away for me. My building complex came into view. I hope my mother didn't mind me coming home a bit later than usual. I had returned home quite late. I stepped inside my house. The kitchen lights were off. My mother must have eaten dinner by now. She probably cleaned up and had gone to bed already. Mother? Oh. I saw cooked dishes left out on the dining table. She didn't have to leave food out for me every time. I heard the sound of my mother's bedroom door open. Fong Ha? Mother, I'm home. My mother appeared out of her bedroom with a frown on her face. Oh no. Why are you home so late? You should have called me. I was worried. I'm sorry. I had broken the heel of my shoe and I went to get it fixed after work. I didn't think it would take as long as it did to get repaired. Did you eat yet? Yes, I had something while waiting. Then remember to call me next time. All this food I made for you is cold. I'm sorry. Don't be out so late again. If you need to run an errand, have it done during the day. The streets are dangerous for a young woman like you. Yes, Mother. I understand. I'm so tired now after waiting up with worry. Oh yeah, thanks, Mom. Really gotta let me know. Pack up the food for me. I'm going to sleep now. Okay, I'm sorry to have made you worry. The answer to that is, fuck you, Mother! I'm 23 now! I can do whatever the fuck I want! Or my mother walked back into her bedroom as quietly as she came. I packed up the food she had left for me as silently as I could. Silence. I had forgotten about my mother. Oh no. It was my habit to call her if something came up at work for me to come home late. If I forget to let her know, she would wait up all night worrying over me. It was my fault to have provoked such a feeling. It should not be your fault. Seeing her leave out a meal for me on the kitchen table made my heart swell with guilt. It shouldn't make you swell with guilt. Whatever energy that I had earlier had all but left me now. I was all wrung out. I should finish cleaning the dishes and wash up. I have another day at work tomorrow. That girl, Sam. Mm-hmm. It must be nice to be so carefree like that. You know, they say the grass is always greener on the other side. I'm not sure what Mr. Wong had done, whether it was his sheer craftsmanship or if it was by some occult power. All I knew is that he had transformative work on my shoes. He put fair use on your heels? My heels were even more comfortable to wear compared to before. I wondered if he had adjusted the heel length on them. I felt taller and more confident with every step I took. Damn, my calf looked more slender and shapely wearing them. Oh my god. Perhaps next time I'll try wearing them without pantyhose. Oh my god. What a time-honored skill Mr. Wong must possess. Time-honored skill. I'm sure many people will rely on his services for years and years to come. I wish I could write a review for him. He certainly deserves the praise. I was gonna be like, do it on Yelp, but I forgot it's the 80s. Nope, more low dots. Today was just flying by. My commute to work was smooth. I was even able to get a seat on the subway on the way to work. I suppose for every bad day, a good day will come to make up for it. There was a lull in the day. I went for a sit-in lunch. Okay. My usual restaurant had hardly a queue to get inside. Wow, things are just on the up and up, huh? Oh, look at this place. And the stools? Just constantly me. The stools. Miss, your usual order? Today, I'll have curry beef brisket, please. Oh, that's what Sam got. Well, not the curry, but the beef brisket. Okay. It was a wonderfully seamless day. I was thinking I could leave work early. Ho-ho! Hey! Yes? You're leaving already? Yes, that's right. You forgot about me already? Who the fuck are you? You're the new hire in the accounting department. Johnny? It's Joey. Hey, get out of here, Joey! Right, Joey. I apologize. That's okay. We never formally introduced ourselves to each other. I've only been here for a few weeks. Your name is Michelle, right? Or should I call you Slippers Chung? Alright, let's not. Please don't call me that. I was hoping people would forget about that already. But it's so funny. Yeah, you're laughing at her though, that's... Hey, has anyone said that you look a bit like Momoko Kikuchi? A Peach Child? The Japanese pop idol. Yeah, don't you think so? What if she doesn't know? No way. There's no way I would look like a pop singer. Don't be so modest. I'll show you her photo book. You really look like her. I don't care. You don't have to go as far as to do that. What is it? I don't see you wearing those slippers today. Well, yeah, she got her. You think she's gonna wear fucking slippers again? You got your shoes fixed? Oh, please don't tease me about it anymore. Even the supervisors was heckling me about it this morning. It's a great story though. Don't you think it adds more to your character? Character? When I first saw you, I thought you were like a boss character. Boss character? Mrs. Tam is our boss. No, I think he means like in a video game. Not that kind of boss. I meant to say you seemed hard to approach at first. So for you to come in to work in slippers like that, it's like, oh, a weakness. I mean it as a compliment. I don't quite understand, but I appreciate your compliment. You know what, Joey? Get the fuck out of here. I don't have time to talk to you anymore. Something about his name being Joey just really gets my aggression up. There's only one Joey out here, and he's got a Brooklyn accent. Yeah. You're heading home now? Yes, I was just about to go. And also, what is it? She did mention when she had come into the slippers, you know, she had said that the one guy who was new there even found the opportunity to tease her about it, so I would only assume that this is this guy. I mean, he literally said, oh, a weakness. Oh, me too. You take the soon one line, right? I'll go with you. Okay then. There's this noodle house that just opened. I heard from some of my friends that it's pretty good. Do you want to try it with me? No, Joey, I don't. It's really... The next station is Mong. Doors will open to your right. The train had been slowing down to a stop at the next station. And as I was about to answer, I was pushed by the other commuters looking to get off the stop. You okay, Michelle? You gotta be like water and evade other people on the train. Yes, I got distracted. So, what about that noodle place? I don't want to go to a noodle place with you, Joey. I'm sorry, I have to get off here. I thought you had a few more stops. I forgot I had something I needed to pick up. Next time, okay? Don't say next time. Okay. It's not a big deal. There's always next time. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, see you tomorrow. Fuck you, Joey, get out! Just a primal rage at Joey. Maybe if he was named Johnny, I would have been fine, but Joey? I'm not sure why I made such an excuse to get away from him. From what I've heard, Joey is a good, respectable guy. I heard from other coworkers that he had studied abroad and had only recently returned to Hong Kong upon completing his graduate studies. I'm sure there's a lot I could talk to him about, and yet, here I am. I was back in the same district where I had my shoes fixed the other day. I should take my time to look around. It'd be awkward if I get back on the train and I run into Joey by accident at the next stop. Since I was already here, I could take a look at the shops for a bit. I didn't have a chance to really browse the shops because of that girl, Sam, the other day. Now that I think about it, didn't she mention she had a shop around here? It shouldn't be too far of a walk from here. A video store. A video store. I had no expectation to actually come across the video store of that girl I had met yesterday. Besides the street-level storefronts, there were a multitude of stores located within indoor shopping arcades, and as well as many outdoor market stores that were scattered across this whole neighborhood district. Ugh. Sam had only vaguely mentioned the location of her store. To find such a specific store without a specific address, I might as well have searched for a needle in a haystack. Did she even want me to find her store? She should have given me a business card if she did. Diamond Videos? What kind of store name was that? Diamond would be more suitable for something a little more valuable than video cassettes. Whoa there, oh, just cause you don't put value in it. I giggled to myself. Damn, dude, you're roasting her store in her head? At this rate, perhaps it might just be a diamond in the rough if I could find it. I didn't put too much hope in it though. I walked through a whole shopping arcade, and I've yet to come across her store. Nonetheless, I kept walking. I was testing out my shoes. My feet carried me forward without effort. My shoes felt comfortable and light. It was satisfying to hear the sound of the heels hitting the pavement. I passed by a few electronic stores. I saw from the window that they had an assortment of television and stereo devices for sale. I did not see any stores having home videos. Perhaps my father would have known better than me where to find a store like this. If he was alive, I'm sure he would still be coming to this neighborhood to regularly look at the stereo devices on display. He had always liked to tinker with the sound system, even when he's dead, and like many years have passed. She still talks about like, if my dad was still alive, this is what he would be doing. In the past, I would have asked him to bring me along on his free weekends, and I would take a look at the new records in the shops nearby. My mother would also come along to look for her Chinese opera records. That was many years ago. Things change fast around here. I could hardly recognize any of the stores now. I had walked a few blocks and reached the end of the street. I looked left and right. It seemed like there weren't a lot of stores ahead. I looked up. There was a throbbing neon sign above me. It might just be adult video. I craned my head to do a double take. I saw that there was a massage parlor in the unit above. Wow, a massage parlor above an adult video store? A seedy movie theater was in the building beside it. Oh, ooh, my left eye twitched. I had been looking at a computer monitor all day. What I should do is kick back at home with a cool compress over my eyes. I forgot to do that the other night. Yeah, you were too tired. The heat of the buildings and all the people on the streets made the night air here humid and dense. I felt like I just said humid and dense wrong. I felt a bit uncomfortable, like there was something heavy wrapping itself around me. If I continued down the street corner, I'd enter the gritty part of Portland Street. Should I try another street? I peered ahead and saw a street sign asking office ladies to be wary of pickpockets. Okay, office ladies specifically, they're aiming for these OLs. Huh, perhaps not. I glanced at my wristwatch. It was getting late. It was about time I called it quits and headed home. I clicked my heels together 3 times and chuckled to myself. There's no place like home. As I was turning around, I felt the shadow of someone walk past me. The person walked quickly behind me. It wasn't anything, but it felt suspicious. I tried to catch a glimpse of that person before they got away. In the corner of my eye, I saw that it was a woman in a long robe dress. It was much like a Cantonese opera stage costume. She had long, wavy hair. I vaguely recalled seeing. Sam? It was the first thought that came into my mind. I wasn't exactly sure who it was, but the profile was close enough to Sam's that it made me question my eyesight. Whoever it was, they gave off such a strange energy, enough to throw me off kilter. Even though I was just complaining about the warm, humid weather in my mind earlier, the air around me soon felt cold. I composed myself. I was heading home anyway. It was just not my luck to find a video store today. I continued my walk back in the direction from which I came. But as I continued walking, I noticed shops that I did not recall seeing earlier. Someone's getting lost. There was a store that carved wood caskets, and a few others selling paper effigies, altars, incense, and lanterns. Well, you're at the cursed street? It struck me as strange, as I thought I had been walking in the opposite direction of Temple Street where such stores were common in that area. Had I really walked down the wrong street? I looked left, right, forward, and back. I realized I had wandered somewhere quite far from where I started out. Oh no. I didn't recognize the road signs nor any of the landmarks. The quietness of the street was quite unsettling. I coughed from the thick plumes of incense smoke in the air. It was eerie how one wrong turn could make a world of difference. Yeah, I would hate to be able to live in like the 80s or 90s because like I would get lost so much and there's no Google Maps. Ooh, I just die at that point. Death to me, I would never be able to get out. I walked for a long time without seeing another pedestrian. I tried not to think about it. I hastened my pace. I wanted to get back to the station or hail a taxi, but there was no passing taxi. And despite how far I kept walking, I couldn't find my way back to the station. I was getting more and more lost in the labyrinth of small and narrow streets. I crossed the next street, and I felt something wet dripping on my head. It's raining? It was a water droplet. I wasn't underneath a rain cloud, nor was I underneath hanging laundry or an air conditioner. I felt uncomfortable. The hair on my neck rose. I could feel the intense stare of someone behind me. I quickly turned around. I saw an old woman looking at me. She was seated on a small stool in the street corner. Her eyes were sunken deep with age. She wore a black traditional dress robe, and she combed her hair in a tight bun. Her dress hid most of her body, but I could see that she was quite a small person. Her back was bent forward with scoliosis, making her appear smaller. Ugh, don't even talk to me about scoliosis. Lotus flowers were placed on a mat beside her. She appeared to be selling them. She didn't appear to be someone dangerous. Well there, you can't trust old ladies! Or rather, she seemed to me like a gentle and lonely old woman who lived a lifetime of honest but hard labor. A coin for a flower seemed like a small pittance, but it could mean a meal for her. Don't! She's a... Okay, I was gonna say something, but no. I reached for my coin purse. Young lady, haven't you realized there's another path? Sometimes the road won't appear until you take the first step towards it. Thank you, old lady. Huh? I looked up, and somehow, the old lady merchant had disappeared right before my eyes. You know, some fucking supernatural shit is happening. The street corner where I thought she had sat had no one. Behind it was just an empty alleyway. I stood, dumbfounded. There was not a trace of her. No stool, no mat, not even a lotus petal was left behind. I was starting to feel quite frightened. Where did she go? Had I been seeing and hearing things this whole time? I asked myself. I suppose this is what I got for walking alone in an unfamiliar place. I approached the alley. I had to get a closer look. Perhaps it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. My heart started racing as I cautiously approached the alley. And I peered in, thinking, praying that it wasn't all a malicious ploy by someone out to get me. But rest assured, there was not a single soul. I suppose the old lady packed up her things and left. Yeah, she's a quick old lady, that's for sure. I looked through the alleyway again. I saw in the distance a familiar blinking sign. I realized I could cut through the alley to where I was earlier. I took my chances. I didn't think too much. A dark alley has its dangers, but at this moment, I was more afraid of being stuck in some unfamiliar place. I hated the feeling of being lost. Who doesn't hate that feeling? I hightailed it through the alley. And as soon as I stepped out of it, I felt the air pressure immediately change. The street was bustling with human activity. It was warm and humid. I didn't mind it as much this time. It was comforting to hear the sounds and chatters of people going about their business. I was back to where I started, before everything strange started happening. Ironically enough, it was the blinking adult video sign that had signaled me back to this place. Haha! I was about to head out, this time in the correct direction, when I heard the muffled sound of someone calling out my name. Michelle! Where was it coming from? Michelle! I heard my name being called out again. I looked across the street, and I saw her standing outside a store. It was Sam! She had the door open and gestured for me to come inside. It was a tiny and dimly lit shop sandwiched between what looked like questionable establishment. I hadn't noticed her store even though I had walked past it earlier. My eyes weren't fooling me this time, right? I crossed the street. It was indeed Sam. So, that old lady, right? She basically helped Michelle get back to where she was. Because she was in this alley. And then she vanished. So then Michelle was like, oh, I gotta go check this alley. Is she still here? And then that's when she sees the adult video sign. Her smile, her gestures. It was without a doubt Sam. I was a little unnerved by what had happened earlier, but I felt much more at ease to see a friendly face. Sam's excitement to see me was earnest. I would put behind me the strange sequence of events. Yeah, it will be a later date when I have to recall the words of the old lady. Oh, I've completely forgotten it. Hey, there's the TV that we have in the main menu. Sam welcomed me into her store. It was a video store exactly as she had described. Her store wasn't too big. Her counter was small. She had for a seat. She had for a wait. She had a seat, a folding chair, and she had for a seat a folding chair and a stool that also appeared to double as a dining table in times of need. She had for a seat. God. Did I mention I love the soundtracks? The store was stacked floor to ceiling with shelves and boxes of videotapes and laserdisc. A small TV was plugged in near where she sat. It had a video of black and white film playing. Hey, Michelle! Oh, damn, Sam. I saw you walking outside earlier. You alright? You look a little dazed. I'm fine. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Was there something you were looking for today? Yeah, your store. Or were you looking for me? Oh, I was just in the area. I wanted to take a look at your shop. Every time I look at these decisions, I'm just kind of like, I know which one I picked, which was, I wanted to take a look at your shop. But I was just in the area. What about it, Sam? I was just passing by. What a coincidence then. Since you're here, why don't you take a look around my store? If you find something you like, I'll give you a special discount. Damn. Okay. I looked around. She had the typical assortment of contemporary American and Asian films, television dramas, karaoke discs, and direct-to-home videos. Sam also had a section of classic Hollywood films, such as Sound of Music and Casablanca. I remember I watched some of these films with my mother when I was young. I wonder if my mother would want to watch these films with me again. The thought had never occurred to me that I could revisit these films with home video. I felt Sam's eyes on me. She acted as if she was flipping through her ledger, but she was definitely looking at me. She had a slight grin on the corner of her lips. Oh my god, and this music too with this? I didn't like being stared at. I picked up a tape off of the shelf and read the back cover. I didn't have any particular movie I wanted to watch, but I didn't want Sam to think that I came over to her store just to loiter. I wasn't much of a moviegoer. The last time I watched a movie in theaters must have been 2 years ago. I preferred to instead read a book from the comfort of my home. I liked being able to follow along something at my own pace. It's not that I dislike movies. I wanted to be able to feel something, anything, out of my own thoughts and volition. That's understandable. I don't like being forced to feel a certain way because of some graphic image on screen. Well, it's not just that, it's the music. Just like what this music is doing to me right now. I'm being seduced by it. I wonder, what about film that made Sam get into this kind of business? I put the tape back down. Sam was still looking my way. She seemed like she was waiting for me to ask her something. I pretended not to notice. I continued browsing. I saw that Sam kept a special selection of films in the corner of her store. Guessing by the languages on the cover, some looked like they were directly imported from their source country. A few English language films had a sticker on them indicating that you need special hardware to play the tape. I examined this section closely. Her eyes continued to follow mine. I didn't recognize any of the movies in this section. Even for the Chinese language films in this section, they were all by directors I'd never heard of before. Like indie films? The films look quite old and predated even the films I watched with my mother. They're very old. I struggled to pronounce the titles of some of them. Mädchen in uniform? What language was this one? German? Look, the only reason why I know Mädchen is like because of Virgin Mädchen. That anime. Sam got up from her stool. Do you have any questions about these films? What are these tapes? They look like bootlegs. They're not bootlegs. They're copies of rare and experimental films. Can you really set up a shop like this with these kind of tapes? It seems hard to sell. There's nothing wrong with them. One day, someone's going to wish that there were more copies of these films floating around. Oh, Sam's right. Do you really make money selling these films? I do. Special interest. The lease ain't free. You got to find a way to reach out to every kind of client. Well, I have my loyal customers. Certain movies really do help pad out the sales. Okay. What's that? It's nothing. Would you like to look at anything else? Do you have any Chinese classics? I'll get something for my mother. Of course! How could I stay in business if I don't? Any particular one you think she'll like? I'm not sure. My mother really liked the movie The Dream of the Red Chamber. Which version did she like? I think the one with Bridget Lin. Is she a fan of Bridget Lin? I have a lot of her other movies. No, not really. I don't think she particularly likes her movies. She's one of the biggest superstars of Taiwan and Hong Kong. My mother isn't up to date with celebrity trends. She was and will always be a fan of Yam Kim Fai. Yam Kim Fai. She loves Cantonese opera. Perhaps she might like a recording of one of her films. Oh! Yam is quite a popular figure, isn't she? My mother was a fan too. Has she watched The Purple Hairpin? Definitely. I'm sure she'll watch it again though. I'll get a copy. Okay! This version of it is good. The sound is in stereo quality. Oh my god, it's in stereo. Thanks. How about for yourself? Is there anything that you're looking for? Just name it and I can find it for you. I'm not sure. I don't have a particular one I'm looking for right now. What kind of movies do you like? I like every kind. I like watching documentaries. I know I chose the middle one, but the first one is a fucking lie because you said you prefer reading books and you're not a movie person. I like watching Alright, I prefer reading a book. That's the defensive one. Defense, not really, but I don't really watch a lot of movies. I prefer reading a book instead. Is that so? Can you tell me why? Well, sometimes I feel more moved if I could imagine something for myself instead of watching it on a screen. My, Michelle, you're quite a dreamy girl. I wouldn't say that. I just like to be quiet with my own thoughts. Michelle, what kind of movies do you like, Sam? What made you want to run a video store? As long as I can remember, I've been watching movies. I like every kind of film. Comedy, action, romance, drama, I can watch anything. What I like about film is watching the actors and actresses bring the story to life, along with the film set, the cinematography, my goodness, the sound direction. Sometimes it all comes together to create a picture so vivid and beautiful that it leaves a lasting impression on me. The films that I like are the ones I'll never forget. You just want to go back and watch them so you can think about them again. That's what makes home videos so wonderful to me. I see. My heart ached at hearing Sam's words. Oh? Ah! Have you seen this movie? Sam pointed at her tiny television screen. It was a black and white Chinese silent film. It was made quite before my time. I didn't recognize any of the actors. No, what is it? Sam showed me the tape. This film is one of Ruan Lingyu's strongest performance. New Women. Ruan Lingyu? God, I don't think I've heard of her. She's also went by the English name Lily Yuan. Yuan? She was a silent film star in Shanghai during the 1930s. Ruan was of Cantonese origins. Her Cantonese accent notwithstanding, her success as an actress was before the advent of sound in Chinese cinema. You could see in her films that she was talented in portraying a variety of characters with a high level of emotional depth. I won't tell you too much about her until you finish the film, but I have to say this film carries a lot more weight once you know what happened. I see. That's interesting. How did you come across her film? I'm sure even my mother would know about them. I had heard a little bit about her film before from people old enough to be alive during her time. It was only recently that her films were taken out of the archives, so I had my chance to finally watch them myself. You can watch it here. It's not that long. Here, have a seat. I'll rewind it to the beginning. Huh? It's alright. I'll get a copy. Okay. I'll give you 20% off. Oh my god, 20% off? 20% only? Alright, Michelle. Can I buy one, get one? Oh my god, she's going for a BOGO. I'd love to, but I have to be fair to every customer. I'll discount you more if you're a returning customer. I also do rentals. Is that really fair then? Alright, here. Thank you. What is the movie about? Well, it's about an educated woman played by Ruan, and what she has to do to survive in the society of the time. So Michelle, it's quite a brave film considering its time of release. The last scene always gives me chills. It's hard to describe the film, you just have to watch it and see. Tell me what you think after you finished it. Okay? I hope you like it. You guys are just standing here blushing at each other? I've been taking up a lot of your time. I shouldn't be keeping you from your work any longer. Sam's like, there's nobody here, what are you... I should get going. Are you busy tonight? I don't have any particular plans. Would you like to come with me to a show? A show? It's at this pub near the station here. I know the owner quite well and she puts on a special event every month. A pub? What about your shop? It's okay, I'll just lock it up. It's about time I close up anyway. Really? The sign outside your door says you still have half an hour till closing. There's nothing wrong with closing time is subject to management. There you go. I can close anytime I want. I'm the manager. What kind of management is that? Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go. Sam ushered me out of her shop and quickly shuttered the gates. I could try watching the movie she recommended, but I didn't really like the idea of going along with her to a pub. I was about to protest had not the venue been in the direction of the subway station. I figured I'll go along with her for a bit, then excuse myself later. We had a nice conversation. Sam seemed cheerful. I didn't want to dampen her mood. Sam walked next to me, humming an upbeat song. She had on a ritzy outfit today. I hadn't noticed it at first when she was sitting behind her shop counter. It was quite outstanding. Sam wore a hibiscus red blouse, a fitted skirt, and paired with these items with pointed toe heels. What a strange shopkeeper. I'd never seen someone tend a store dressed like that. Oh, she had a show to go to. I was dressed in my usual office attire, formal, neat, and clean. I don't have the look of someone going to bars after work. As we walked, the streets got more and more crowded the closer we approached the station. The sidewalk was shoulder to shoulder with pedestrians going home, going out, going somewhere. I took off my jacket. It was warm. I felt awkward around Sam. From afar, I'm sure no one would think we had anything to do with each other. Silence. And then we transition. The subway entrance should just be around the corner ahead. It was about time I took my leave. I'm out, Sam! I shouldn't involve myself with Sam anymore tonight, she says. Not like this, I thought. Not like this. Sam? Look at her. You see her with her jacket off? Very nice. We're here. The venue is just downstairs. Sam gestured to a narrow stairwell leading down into the basement of a pre-war apartment building. The entrance was open. It was an otherwise inconspicuous place. I looked for the name of the establishment. All the place had for signage was a bolted plate beside the entrance door, which indicated in small font that it was in fact a bar and disco. I felt uneasy. I better not today. Michelle? I have to get going. Oh. I have some things I got to take care of. Aw, that's too bad. I'm sorry. No worries, there's always a next time. Sam smiled lightly. That's what Joey said too, the little fucker! Did she feel disappointed? Sam, I'll walk you to the station. That's alright. I hope you have a good night. I'm gonna head out now. Oh shit! Here she is! A woman in an ostentatious green power suit suddenly appeared between us. God, her fucking song just popped in. It's just, she put her arm around Sam's waist. She seemed well acquainted with Sam. Samantha! What are you doing just standing out here? Oh, is this your friend? Hurry up and get in! Huh? What are you doing out here, Cecilia? Huh? You don't see me working? I have to be my own planner, promoter, security. I might as well be my own performer too if I have to do everything around here. You're busy as always, aren't you? Always! I saw you loitering outside. How rude, blocking my entrance like that. Just get inside already and make my place look lively. Sorry. Michelle. Silence. Huh? Who's this? You brought someone this time? Don't tell me this is... Cecilia, this is Michelle. Michelle? Cecilia. Well, aren't you something? I'm sorry, I'm actually leaving. Hey. Miss Wong, didn't you tell her it's ladies' night? There's no cover charge. That's not it, I have to catch the train. What? Where did you find this girl? She's so cold. You come in and sit for a bit, okay? Relax. You're too stressed from work. I mean, she's not wrong. Drink something to warm yourself up. Aiya! Aiya! Cecilia proceeded to put her arms around my shoulder and walk me down into the bar. Sam shrugged and followed in. Cecilia then excused herself and began chatting up the other patrons in the bar. She seemed like a busybody. The bar was named Ruby. I figured it from the pink neon sign that was lit on the wall. It was a weathered-looking bar that appeared as if it had gone through several aesthetic transformations throughout the years. It's a disco bar, too! Furniture was mismatched and the paint job was uneven and chipped in some corners. If I had to describe what its decor was to a magazine publicist, I would say that it was a valiant attempt at combining cosmopolitan posh and tropical boathouse. Neon lights colored the thick plumes of cigarette smoke in the air. The 80s. Secondhand smoke everywhere. Loungy funk music played from a sound system that is reminiscent of the one my elementary school had in the gymnasium. The bass was terribly loud and made an awful buzzing and crackling sound. Regardless of what I thought of the bar's visual and sound aesthetics, people seemed to have a good time. If they weren't shaking their head to the music, they were mingling around the tables with drinks in hand. I surveyed the room. I thought Sam's bare legs were too risque? But compared to everyone else here, she was considered moderately dressed. People wore flashy outfits that were outrageously over the top. There were women who dressed like men and others who dressed like circus performers. It was like a British fashion show. I wasn't the only person dressed in office attire, but I certainly felt out of place here. I feel you on that. Sam suggested we sit down at the bar. I sat down on the seat at the end of the counter. Sam took the seat next to me, first exchanging greetings with the bartender before sitting down on the high stool. Every time Sam crossed her legs, I noticed her skirt would inch dangerously higher. Oh, this was not good. Did Sam not notice this? My mother would have chastised me over such unladylike dress and behavior. Yeah, but she's not you or your mother. I suppose Sam wasn't someone I could consider exactly feminine. A lady wouldn't go to a pub on her own. Whoa there, and a lady certainly wouldn't be on a first-name basis with the bartender. That is Sam, alright. Sam ordered a drink. It was her usual, apparently, a tequila sunrise. Sam asked if I wanted to have the same drink with her, but I refused. I asked for a glass of water instead. You gonna say that to the bartender? I didn't want a drink tonight. It was a weeknight. Yeah, I got work tomorrow, and I had my own sense of pride. I wanted to do things on my own terms, not to just please someone else. The bartender made a strange look to Sam. Sam carried on with her smiles. I couldn't read Sam's thoughts, but I tried not to think about it. Sam tapped her fingers to the beat of the music. She noted to me the names of the songs that played. I nodded along. It was something outside my knowledge. I noticed that Sam wasn't someone in need of company. Several people came over and gave their regards to Sam. Sam appeared to be popular here. One woman took a seat next to Sam. She wore a normal broad-shouldered office suit. However, the fitting was several sizes too large for her small frame. She kept her hair short, much like a boy's cut, and wore sunglasses indoor. Oh my god, it was a strange pub. Yeah. It had a disproportionate number of women versus men. But it's ladies' night. I guess that's what Cecilia meant by ladies' night. The strange woman continued talking to Sam. Their conversation wasn't exactly something I could easily join in. Their way of talking was obtuse. There was a lot of expression and colloquial speech I could not understand. I turned away and looked at the empty stage. I wondered what kind of musical performance would it be tonight. I doubted it would suit my taste. Why did Sam invite me here? She wanted to hang out with you. I felt a hand on my leg. It was Sam's. She placed her hand lightly on my knee. Sam looked at me with a concerned face. The suit-wearing woman excused herself and left to join another table. Are you alright, Michelle? I'm fine. I haven't been here for a while, so some old friends came by to say hello. I didn't mean to ignore you. That's fine. You can talk to whoever you want. Michelle, I'm sorry about earlier. Cecilia can be forceful sometimes. No, I get it. She reminds me of my boss. Really? You know, Cecilia used to be my boss at one point. I could never catch a break. Ambitious women are like that. What's that? What business did you have with her? Eh? It's not anything like that. She's like a big sister to me. Huh? Big sister? Yes, someone who takes care and invites you out for a meal together. That's all. I meant about your work. Oh! Yes! Some years ago, a relative of her owned a record store, so I helped them manage it at the time. Cecilia acted as if she owned the place, though, and treated herself as my boss. Let me tell you, she was fierce. She'd be upset with me if I couldn't name the songs off of the Billboard charts, and she would give me hell if the books were off even by 1 cent. Oh, you mentioned that before. Yeah. So that was who you were talking about. Yes, that's right. Looking back, it was a fun stint. I learned a lot then. When the owner decided to close down the record shop, Cecilia swooped in and asked me if I wanted to lease a newly freed space from her. I didn't know anything about owning a store then. I had a really tough start. But I was able to turn things around with all the people helping me. I wouldn't be where I am without them. I see. Meanwhile, Michelle has done this all by herself, gone to her position at the office lady. At the office lady? That's not the company. I'm glad it worked out for you. It's nice to have people looking out for you. Yes. Do you like running your own store? Well, there are ups and downs, but I like the feeling of being my own boss. I can set my own hours. I can pick out what I want to sell. I can really make it my own, which I like. I'm still learning what it means to be a successful business owner. There's a lot of trial and error sometimes, but I think I'm doing pretty well for myself now. I see. That's good for you. What about you? What led you to be in a publishing company? It just fell in place. Nothing in particular, really. I was recommended the position when I was in university by a professor. I got the job and I've been there ever since. I've only been working for about a year though. Ah, is that so? Do you enjoy your work? Work is work. I can't say I enjoy it, but it is what it is. I see. There was an awkward lull in our conversation. I didn't know what to talk about. It was a loud and busy place. Yeah, I would hate to be in there. I didn't want to raise my voice or bring up personal things here. Sam didn't seem too bothered. She seemed to enjoy this kind of atmosphere. She looked around and sipped on her drink slowly. When a fast-paced song came along, her finger would automatically start tapping along with the beat. I noticed that she touched her hair a lot. Whenever she brushed her hair back, her gold-colored earring would catch the light from the stage. Sam's appearance caught eyes. Even though we sat in the corner end of the bar, anyone who walked by would turn and take a second glance at her. Sam had a different look to her today. It was an adult and mature look, a complete contrast to what I remember her wearing the other day. Yesterday's Sam had a laid-back and casual atmosphere to her. Tonight's Sam gave me a feeling of unpredictability. I never met a person like Sam before. Sam leaned closer to me. She was about to say something. I turned away to avoid her eye contact. I didn't want Sam to read my expression. It wasn't that I felt intimidated by Sam. Rather, I couldn't guess her motive. I felt at a loss. I didn't want Sam to know that. Sam continued the conversation. I know you mentioned before that we had differing musical tastes. So far, how do you like the music here? I can't say. I can't say. See, I was thinking about like picking choices I've never picked before, but like at the same time, Michelle doesn't fucking like this. I can't say. This kind of music is new to me. I can't really say I like it. I see. I appreciate you coming with me tonight, but it wasn't really out of her own choices. You know, this place plays a bit of everything. They'll play the most popular songs off of the UK and American charts, and then they'll play Cantonese and Japanese hits as well. Every fourth Thursday of the month, they have a special disco night where they bring back the older dance charts. Disco? Hell yeah, disco! There's Cecilia! As Sam was about to answer, Cecilia came in and gave a hard smack to my back before taking a seat next to Sam. Cecilia was friendly towards Sam, but I felt an air of hostility from her. I should be careful around her. How are you ladies doing tonight? Hey Cecilia, you finally pulled away from all your guests? For now, Michelle just doesn't answer. I have so much to do as tonight's host. Is that so? Hey, Samantha? What are you doing with your little guest in the corner? Is that a glass of water? Oh no! Oh! What about it? Michelle, I told you to loosen up a bit. Cecilia... Cecilia snapped her fingers and ordered something from the bartender. Here, a fun drink for you. A tequila sunrise on the house. And if you're not a cocktail girl, a glass of my finest champagne. I had it uncorked just for you. Alright, Cecilia. Cecilia, stop. That's enough. Huh? Why not? She doesn't want it. Don't force her. I'm trying to show her a good time. Don't you see her moping in the corner with a glass of water? Well, yes, because she doesn't want a beer and you brought her in. Come on, cheer her up. I'm not moping. Okay, why don't you have a drink with me? Don't be rude to your host. Which one will you pick? I'll take them both. No, I'm going for the... That's it! That's it, Cecilia, you wanna fight? I don't want either of them. I figured you'd say that. Why should I drink with her? I didn't need to drink to enjoy myself. That's right, Michelle. I crossed my arms. I shouldn't have to give in to Cecilia. What I did wasn't any of her business. You know, sometimes you cannot judge something without trying it first. Michelle, don't worry about it. Cecilia, why don't we split these two drinks? I'll drink this one for you, Michelle. Sam... You're too soft. Be easy on her. It's still a weeknight. Cecilia, when are the musicians starting? Why don't we all get on the dance floor? Ah, that's right. I have to get them ready. When I come back, I better find you girls on the dance floor. That's it, Cecilia. I'm leaving. Later, loves. Hey, don't take whatever Cecilia said to heart. That's just her big sister of showing her care. By shoving drinks into me? Sorry, into Michelle? I didn't take it to heart. Oh, that's good. She's a good friend of mine. I don't want you to dislike her. I see. If you're tired, we can call it a night. It's alright. Sam, thanks for what you did earlier. Don't worry about it. I just hope you're not feeling down because of me. I wanted to say to Sam that it wasn't her fault. Yeah, it was Cecilia's. Before I could finish my thoughts, Cecilia was there again to interrupt me. The club music had stopped playing and she appeared on the stage under a bright spotlight. Ahem, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is everyone having a fabulous night? The crowd roared in a cheer. Is that a cheer? You can be louder than that. Don't fall asleep now. We've got special guests tonight to get your body moving. If you're sitting at the table, get your dancing shoes on and get up on the dance floor. Let's welcome Sister Sisters. Oh, Sister Sister. A group of musicians and dancers got up on the stage. I'm a little bit too hyperactive now. I don't want to end it here either because we're in the middle of a scene. Fuck! People quickly crowded the platform. The bar that seemed half empty before quickly filled up. Those who were previously sitting at the tables were all on the dance floor now. The drummer counted in, and the sound of heavy synthesizers and bass followed. The room was filled with the sound of upbeat music. I looked at my watch. It was just after 11. Oh, gotta call my mom. If I left now, I could be home before midnight. I wasn't a dancer. I didn't like to drink. Now was a good time to excuse myself. Sam could go enjoy the rest of the night the way she wanted. I never intended to stay with her for as long as I did. I got up from the bar stool. Sam, before you go, may I have this dance with you? Huh? Sam held out her hand. Sam said something I couldn't quite hear her words. The music was deafening, yeah. We could hardly talk without yelling. May I? What? Let's dance. I don't know how to dance. Who does? I can show you. I should go. I don't really know this song. Is that so? I love this song. Huh? I said I'm going. You'll go? Alright, let's hit the dance floor. Hell yeah. Huh? Are you hearing me properly? Sam's cheeks were flushed from the drink, though there was a sense of clarity in her eyes. There was some frantic energy in her appearance. Sam held onto my wrist. Her hands were sweaty. Sam? She pulled me into the mob. What? The lights were strobing. People danced in every direction. Alright, Michelle, don't break your heels. Hands were in the air. Someone was laughing. Someone was screaming. I was being pushed by moving bodies in from every direction. It was hot and tight in the disco. The plumes of smoke had gone even thicker. I felt suffocated. It was as if for these people, tonight was all that mattered. Yeah, exactly. There were no thoughts about the handovers, nor the growing economic uncertainty in the city. Here, liquor flow endlessly. Wow, who would have thought people don't want to think about politics at a bar? Money came easy. Yeah, liquor flow endlessly, money came easy, and Hong Kong will always be the same. Ooh, when this game came out, like, ooh. Sam danced to the rhythm of the music. Oh my god! Sam moved left, right, and all around. Her body moved freely without regards to the movement of others around her. She stood out from everyone in the crowd. I couldn't do anything except follow her with my eyes. It was vivacious. The music continued one song to another. She continued dancing to the music. Alright, Michelle, we're gonna get out! As I stood watching her, I realized that Sam was in a world I did not know and did not associate with. Well, who would have thought? And a pervasive thought repeated in my mind. That I didn't belong here. Time to get out, Michelle! Michelle, are you alright? Sam stopped dancing. She held my wrist with her hand. I was the one who brought you here. You must be tired. I'm sorry that this wasn't something you enjoyed. God, I'm getting this sense of, like, anxiety in my... I mean, it's been here since she was at the bar, because, like, that's how I would feel, too. Uncomfortable, and I need to get the fuck out. Would you like to go now? It's not that. It's... You know, a place like this is where I feel the most myself. It's like this messy, chaotic, confusing, but I feel free in this kind of space. It's a place where people come to have fun and not to think about their troubles for the day. People don't really judge you here. You can put aside money and status and dance the night away. You don't have to feel shame or hide who you are here in this place. You can put out whatever outfit and feel confident with yourself. It's that kind of special place to me. I'm glad that Sam, like, explains, you know, why she likes this and all that. It's just like how, when Michelle goes, like, I prefer reading books over movies and all that, and she kind of asks, like, why do you feel that? You know, she wants to learn, like, the inner, what ticks for Michelle. Sam had a smile on her face, though she seemed to say these things to me from a distant place. Yeah, because you don't really know. There was a long pause between us. For some reason, I couldn't put together the words to answer her right away. I wanted to say something. I didn't want her to misunderstand me. I see, I'm glad you found your special place. Could you tell me more? I don't know much about it. I'm sorry, I wasn't feeling well tonight. Oh, I want to click on it, but I also want to click on the third one. Okay, well, I click on something. I see. Could you tell me more about it? I never went to the disco before. It's a new thing for me. Can we also talk outside? It's fucking loud in this disco. But I want to learn more about it from you. Maybe not right now. You're busy too. Michelle, Sam, you're a little pale. Have you eaten yet? Oh, that's right. I haven't eaten since lunch. Would you like to get something as a snack to eat nearby before you go home? I'll walk you out. Okay. We left the bar. Sam walked with me to the station. I'll end this when the day ends. The video, I mean. It was past midnight. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make the last train home. I think you look nice in your shoes. I'm glad you were able to get them fixed. Thank you. I like the shoes you have on too. It looks good with your outfit. Thanks. Noise. I observed the night scenery around me. There was something about being out on the lively streets at night that made you feel awake and alert. The electric energy from the bright city lights radiated onto the people that it shined on. The neighborhood I lived in was much quieter by this time. It certainly could not compare in liveliness. It was a warm summer night, but the night air felt much more refreshing compared to earlier. Oh yeah, you were in a stuffy bar. The night wind felt cool. It was far easier to breathe without all the heavy cigarettes fume found inside the disco, and that too, the secondhand smoke. I felt more relaxed. I glanced at Sam. She walked with a slow step. She was quiet. I guess she was feeling a little down. Well, she didn't want this night to end. I didn't mean to spoil her evening, but I shouldn't have to keep myself out for her sake, I thought. Well, yes, it was still a workday tomorrow. I couldn't stay out all night. Oh, and your mom, by the way. I had told Sam that she didn't need to accompany me to the station if she wanted to stay in the disco longer. But she insisted on seeing me out. The station wasn't far. It took only a few minutes to walk to one of the subway entrances. Just across from the entrance, there were several hawkers stands, still serving hot meals well into the night. Ah, dude, street food. Sam pointed one out to me. Ah, the curry fish ball at that stand are the best. Really? The line for it speaks for itself. I can't believe it. At this hour? Would you like to try it before we head into the station? I don't know. It's late now. I understand if you have to go. I've already kept you long enough. Sam today was strange. I thought she had a persistent and pushy personality. But ever since we left the disco, she acted demurred. Oh yeah, she figured that you're not having a great time right now. Had I acted that coldly towards her to have dampened her mood this much? I didn't intend to be dismissive of her. If they're really that good, I'll try it. Really? I assure you, let's get in line. Don't worry, the lines move really fast. She smiled again. Alright. Oh, you know that feeling I have in my chest right now? It is just, well, maybe it's also the hunger. I haven't eaten, well, actually, I did eat a little bit, but I'm hungry again. But I feel this, like, pang in my chest right now. And, like, there's a lump in my throat, although that's probably from me talking for, like, 2 hours now. I don't know why, but I felt shy seeing her smile. We were getting curry fish balls, of all things. Oh, The popular fishball stand looked like any other. A stainless steel cart carried all of the ingredients and supplies the owners needed to cook and conduct their business. I should have ended this like 17 minutes ago. Whoops. They worked seamless in tandem, collecting payments and preparing one order after the next. It didn't take long for us to be next in line. Flavorful smells wafted into our nostrils. We're next. Which one would you like to get? Which one is good? Spicy or non-spicy? Always spicy, Michelle. The spicy's quite spicy. You can get it half and half if you want to try both. Okay, I'll get that. Okay? Excuse me, 2 half and half orders. It could be because I haven't eaten a full meal since lunch, but there was something about tonight that made the curry fish balls taste like something out of this world. Oh, yeah, you were just hungry. They were something so ordinary, yet they tasted so extraordinary. It was delectably savory. The spicy ones had a good kick to them too. We ate up a whole plate of them quickly on the side of the road. I wanted to get another set to eat. How did you like them? They're quite good, actually. Do you want another set? Michelle's like, I'm going in for seconds. Sure, I'll get it. I turned around swiftly. Before I could react, a passerby quite forcibly bumped into my shoulder and knocked the paper plate containing the leftover curry sauce out of my hands and onto my chest. And it's on a white shirt too! The sauce spilled all over onto my blouse, staining it a disastrous yellow-brown. She's not having a good day. Oh no. The curry sauce is all over you. It's my favorite blouse too. I have to wash it off immediately or the blouse will be permanently stained. And I think I'll have to take the taxi home. I'm sad. I'm sad. Eh? Looking like baby puke? You should get yourself cleaned up a bit first. Baby puke? More like baby poop. This is your fault. Oh no, Michelle! You're the one who invited me out and caused all of this. Oh no, Michelle! I shouldn't have tagged along with you in the first place. Damn, dude, the fucking... her emotions been bottlenecked this whole time, and this is just... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Look, there's a 24-hour laundromat nearby. My apartment is just above. You can wait there while it's being washed. What should I do? I weighed my options carefully. The yellow-brown liquid was seeping further and further into my blouse. The sauce was still warm on my chest, and the smell was oh so strong. If my silk brassiere were to have a permanent brown stain, I would cry. I know, you said I'm sad. I wanted to blame Sam for this curry disaster. I know it wasn't actually her fault. But she should take some partial responsibility for this. It's the least she could do. That's why she's offering you to go to the laundromat. Okay. I'm gonna end this here now, or else I'll be here for another hour. I love it. I love it. Again, I don't know if it's the hunger or just I'm having a pang in my heart right now, but I'm hungry. And after seeing those curry fish balls, I'm even more hungry than usual. There are some, like, part of the writings that I'm just kind of like, I'm a little, it feels like a tongue twister for me, and I'm a little confused about, you know, some words that are used here and there that I feel like aren't grammatically correct, but overall I do like the writing, and I especially love the dialogue, the way that, you know, you can see that Sam is interested in Michelle, and she's just, when she invited her to the, to her, not invited her, but, you know, well, I mean, she technically sort of invited her to the, to her video store, and then you just see that Sam is just continuously just watching Michelle. But Michelle is just like, I know that you're staring at me, but I don't want to be awkward about it, so I'm just gonna pretend that I don't realize. But you can see that, like, the both of them have, like, an attraction to each other, especially with Michelle, even though she's sort of, like, very hesitant a lot of the times, because the things that Sam does is very off base and not what she's used to. But she still is interested in Sam. You get in the way that she says, like, oh, when she smiles at me, it makes me feel shy. It's very nice. And again, the whole continuing to ask her questions back, like when Sam is asking her questions, Michelle ends up asking the questions back to her. So it's very nice. And also the fact that Michelle had that, like, outburst of her, like, this is all your fault, Sam. And Sam's just kind of like, okay. But at that point, it just feels like, you know, she understands that Michelle's kind of not having a good time since she entered the club, and that's why she's toned down she toned down a little bit when they were leaving and all that. So it's very nice. I love this visual novel. And the setting, again, it's so nostalgic, and it just makes me miss Vietnam. I should go back to it one of these days, if I ever have the fucking money for it. But I love it. Like, street stalls and everything. Oh, that was the one thing that I loved when I went back to Vietnam in 2014. There was a street vendor that was, like, near my aunt's house. That was where we were staying. And they were selling bún bò. And what it was that you order it, you go back to your house, they will literally walk into your house with the bowl and, like, the utensils and, like, the herbs and everything, you know, the greens. And it is just so good just to have that. It was one of my favorite points. That and all the other street food that I got to eat there, and overall just be able to walk in the city of Saigon. And I gotta say, if you've never been to, like, Vietnam and in a city of Saigon, oh my god, dude, walking across the street is incredibly terrifying. You're just saying, alright everyone, you know, better avoid me because I'm walking through the streets. And that's exactly what it is. Everybody's on scooters and shit, and you're just walking while everybody on the scooters are just avoiding you. And you're just like, yeah, and here I go, walking across the street. It's so nice. There was something else I wanted to talk about that I didn't mention before too, which was with the way that her dad had died, right? Her dad was in the middle of doing a U-turn, and a truck, had ran the red line, fucking slammed into him. That kind of gave me a bit of, like, an uncanny feeling, because my dad had a similar car accident, except he was sort of the truck, and the other person was the one doing a U-turn when they weren't supposed to be doing a U-turn, and he was driving in a green light, you know, and he was the one who crashed into them. But I had that bit of, like, uncanny feeling when I remember reading through that part, and I was like, wow, you know, and the feeling of, again, like, my dad being the pillar of the family, and if I was an only child, and if something like that had happened to my dad, I know that my mom would exactly be the way that Michelle's mom is. So it's just, again, an uncanny feeling, you know, a surreal feeling for me. But anyways, okay, when that song was playing in the store, and you had that nice CG of Sam watching Michelle. Oh, damn, dude, Sam's really out here after my own heart. Oh my god. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video.